Hi, I'm Don Banks, a 20-year military veteran, husband, and father. Today, I am embarking on a path that I hope will give our communities hope while encouraging people to use the tragedies impacting our communities as a driving force for knowledge, strength, and change. This is the preview of a 6-part series covering violence against Black Americans and the aftermath and long-standing impacts to our communities. Before sirens and headlines, there were lives. Dreams at kitchen tables, laughter on porches, plans scribbled in notebooks. This conversation is about how ordinary days became part of a much bigger story. This is for Ahmaud Arbery, Walter Scott, Philando Castile, Breonna Taylor, Atatiana Jefferson, Botham Jean, and countless others, and for everyone who loved them. Because humanity shouldn't need to be proven. It should be recognized. These tragedies don't appear from thin air. You can trace lines from Reconstruction to Jim Crow, from redlining to concentrated poverty, from the war on drugs to aggressive enforcement strategies. Policies like no-knock warrants, permissive use of force standards, gaps in officer decertification, and weak data reporting have created conditions where everyday encounters can turn fatal, especially for Black Americans. History isn't past, it's present. Black Americans are killed by police at roughly 2 to 3 times the rate of white Americans per capita. Black drivers are more likely to be stopped and searched. Yet, those searches are less likely to find contraband. Incarceration remains disproportionate. Black people are in prison at about 4 times the rate of white people. Homicide victimization is tragically higher among Black Americans, especially Black men, reflecting concentrated disadvantage and easy access to guns. These aren't just numbers. They're signals pointing to policy choices, enforcement patterns, and opportunity gaps that we can change. Let's look at some myths and some facts. Myth: more white people are killed by police, so there's no bias. Fact: in absolute numbers, yes, the U.S. has more white people. Per person, Black Americans are killed 2 to 3 times as often. Per capita rate is the fair comparison. Myth: Black on Black crime proves culture is the issue. Fact: most crime is intraracial for everyone. Proximity matters. About 80% of white victims are killed by white offenders, too. Focusing on a trope ignores post causes. Segregation, poverty, guns, underinvestment, underprotection, and over-policing. Myth: 13% of the population commits 50% of the homicides. Fact: that's arrests, not actual offenses, and it fluctuates by year. Arrest data reflects policing intensity and clearance rates. It also concentrates in specific places and ages, context that memes ignore. Myth: people who were shot must have been resisting. Fact: many were unarmed, asleep, or complying. Disparities persist, even controlling for behavior, in multiple studies. Policy matters. Cities that limit no-knock warrants, strengthen duty to intervene, create independent investigations, and build non-police responses for mental health and traffic safety can reduce harm without sacrificing safety. Community investment, housing, youth jobs, trauma services, and credible messenger programs reduces violence more effectively and durably than enforcement alone. In our 6 episodes, we didn't want to solely focus on how they died, because dignity is the foundation for accountability. You'll see patterns across different cities: routine stops escalating, no-knock entries in the night, wellness checks turning deadly. And you'll also see the people who refuse to let these stories end at a headline. Awareness isn't enough, but it's the start. Watch, share, question, organize. Remember their names and defend the ordinary moments they were denied.